Records in Greenville, South Carolina. And one time we were listening to Nassau's album Hush and Grim on the way and from Virginia, and then we stopped here to get the vinyl. And another time our car broke down in front of here, and it was convenient because we're in front of a record store.
You're gonna break down in front of a record shop.
Yeah. We're with the owner, Gene, and he's the owner of Horizon Records. So when did this place open and how did it get started?
Long ago and far away.
I like that.
1975.
So mysterious.
I opened it up or started it. I worked in another little record store for maybe a couple of years while in high school. Dropped out of college. Don't do that.
I won't.
And opened up Horizon, a little 600 square foot spot in 1975.
Is this the original location of this
No, this is 1, 2, 3. This is really like our fourth iteration.
Wow.
Where was the first location?
All the other previous locations were on South Pleasantburg Drive, one of those big 6-lane bypasses. We're now at the edge of downtown Greenville, which is a much more pleasant place to be.
Has a lot of history. It feels like there's a lot of history here. We're in the vault, kind of like the basement of the Louvre, background of this place. And you have some coworkers here that you had for quite some time, sure.
Yeah, Martin out there
Martin.
just clocked.
Yeah, I've noticed Martin.
Years here.
Yeah, Martin. I've noticed Martin every time. Yeah, I've been coming here a while too.
We've been here a long time. What else can I say? It started out as a brilliant idea, which had its issues, but I thought I needed to open a record store, so I simply took a lease and a little storefront.
So what you get the connection between all these independent record shops is quite a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into these places. And
So have you had any shows here before?
Yes, over the years, Horizon has been known to have a lot of shows. In fact, we, as a company name, we had Horizon Productions, and we were promoters or producers for other people of a huge number of concerts over the years, particularly heavily in the 90s. And we had a lot of in-stores here. Some have gone on to some pretty big names. Government Mule played in here one time, which was, there's a cafe on the other side of this wall. We have our building that's
interesting. Wow.
It's not open today because it's Monday, but we have put things on their side and on the store side.
That's incredible, yeah. Lots of different types of bands come through, different
everything from punk to classical.
That's fantastic.
We've had Van Cliburn gold medal winners. We've had Government Mule, and they weren't doing acoustic. They were doing basically the baby mule, a full mule.
Wow. So concert pianists all the way to some rock and roll. That's fantastic. And while you know that if you've been following Heavy Metal Music Manor, Alaric and I, as a father and son team, we try to discuss our favorite music. And Mr. Gene, tell us, you have a similar connection to that as well.
Yeah, it's a project dear to my heart. Is that my son, I'm Gene Berger, and my son is Aaron Berg, who lives in Nashville, Tennessee. He also operates under another persona as well, known as a mountain walker. But the two of us meet up about once a month, and we just simply archive a Zoom conversation, a dialogue, a duo. And we pick out a record that we both love, and we just kind of tear it apart, talk about it, slobber on it, give some backstory to it.
Do you usually you'll pick out something that you've always felt was near and dear to your heart that maybe your son might, does he always know the reference?
Sometimes, that's a really good question. Sometimes we both agree, the next one coming up is Chuck Prophet, and we're just totally on Chuck Prophet, both of us. But in the past, I've said, Aaron, I want to talk about Santana Caravanserai.
Sure,
it's like, well, I kind of know the cover, but I don't know it. I said, well, you better listen.
It's a monumental album.
Yeah, it is. I think so.
It is so. If you love Carlos Santana,
Also,
who wouldn't if you're a guitar player? Yeah.
I already saw a few things I liked, like Presto by Rush. I saw the first Rob Zombie album.
Yeah, lots of stuff
they
here.
They even have some Opeth here. They got a lot of stuff.
What's so special about this place? We're back here, like I said, kind of in the vault behind the scenes, and it's wonderful to see that in record shops like this, they're just not what you see out front. There's a lot of the best stuff's in the back, not quite out there. Well, I love that you and your son do what we're doing. It's just a wonderful thing to, again, bridging the gap between the generations, and that's just such a nice thing.
It is.
Thank you for sharing that, Jim.
Yeah, it is. It's always. I like to tell my son, it's not just about the fact that we're discussing Santana or Chuck Prophet or whatever. It's also kind of a father-son thing, a generational
Absolutely
thing.
right.
Primary history gets shared. I learned stuff about he's a bass player,
and
a songwriter and a musician. But
that's wonderful.
I learned stuff about his music journey and his you know, his history, and he learned stuff that I had never bothered to tell him about.
And,
some crazy concert I went to, and
That, exactly right, because Mr. G and I are probably similar age, and we certainly have had a lot of history of going to concerts and exposing him to something maybe even like old King Crimson or new King Crimson. He's trying to get me to listen to Meshuggah. So, and I love metal. That's my thing, but I also love a lot of other types of music
He just can't
as
get
well.
into you just can't get into Meshuggah.
Yeah, so I'm working.
Stubborn.
If he can like Lark's Tongues and Aspect, maybe I can like the Meshuggah Mutable. Well, hey, it's okay, but that's the fun about it. That's what's so charming about it all. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look and see what we can find as kind of our. That's what we do. It's kind of our next thing. Always after we talk to our people, we go and see what we can find in our shop. And we always will find something. Kind of hard not to, right?
Well, it's a pleasure.
Thank you,
and,
Mr. Gene.
We're really
appreciate you.
Gratified that you would return from
Always.
way far away
Always.
and ask me to sit and talk for a minute.
Thank you
Very
for giving us
kind.
the time.
People like you is what keeps us record stores going.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And you do the same. We talk and talk, walk the walk. You guys go ahead and find out your favorite record stores in your location. And we appreciate your support always. And that's what we're doing here. Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Bam.
That's it.
I have an album called Killer Be Killed, but their Killer Be Killed's first album. I have been looking this album for months, and I still cannot find this, and I finally found it. My mom she said, "Hey, what's that?" It's like, "Dang, Killer Be Killed, don't you like them?" And then I'm like, "Wait, what are you looking at?" And all of a sudden I stand like, and it was just like. Also, I found some really great CDs at Horizon Records. Repentless by Slayer. And I found Bonded by Blood by Exodus with Paul Bailoff. And Dark Root to the Earth by Testament. 3 really good albums. And Bonded by Blood, classic metal album. If you're a metalhead, you have to know this album. If you don't know this album and you're a metalhead, there's no excuse. You just have to know this, okay? Alright, Horizon Records, awesome.